Welcome to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined, with your host, the one and only Betsy Tinnervin. On this podcast, we bring you people who share their personal journeys in life, business, and of course, real estate. Get motivated, inspired, and priceless information from entrepreneurs, community leaders, and realtors who are thriving. Now let's get raw and real. Here's Betsy.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin, with LPT Realty and the Sunshine State Investments team. Happy to be here with you today. As always, we are powered by LPT Realty, the fastest growing brokerage in the country currently. Within the past year, we have 3,500 agents. Robert Palmer makes all this exposure available to every LPT agent, as well as business owners in the real estate business in the Tampa Bay communities. So today, kids, we are bringing you the raw and real of life, business, and of course, real estate. Happy to talk about a special topic today, which I think is pertinent to what's happening in the world. We're going to be talking about loyalty. How is loyalty applied in life, business, and of course, the real estate game? 3 sections that we're going to hone in on today are honesty, trust, and commitment. How we're honest, trustworthy, and committed to our clients, to our fellow colleagues, to our brokerage, LPT Realty. And of course, I have a special guest in the studio, bringing this guy back. He is always asked for because he is definitely shown his honesty, loyalty, and commitment to the title industry. So I'm going to introduce him first. I have Brandon Wessner in the house. What's going on, B. West?
What's up? What's up?
We have worked together for such a long time. Brandon Wessner is with National Title Solutions. He has been in the title industry for 20 years. Very rare to see, number one, someone stay with the same company, and number two, stay in the same industry. No, Brandon did not jump off and get a real estate license. No, he did not become an LO. He has done strictly title for the past 20 years.
Yeah, I'm married to it now.
Well, and also you can't possibly have any gray hairs from the industry because you're bald.
That is very true.
So when you did have gray hairs, we have now shaved them off.
Yes.
I love that.
Can't beat it. Join it.
We're going to talk a little bit about National Title Solutions, who Brandon is, and what a great attribute just to the word loyalty is you exemplify that in not only your career, your loyalty to your company, and then just, of course, the customer service you provide. So we'll dive deeper to that in the show. I have another lady who drove a long way to be here with me today. For all the listeners out there, she hasn't got to know me yet, so she might not come back. I'm just kidding. I have Miss Tony Gamble in the house today. She is an amazing LPT agent. She works the area all the way from Naples to Sarasota. So awesome to provide that knowledge and strength to all the buyers, sellers, and investors in the Tampa Bay area who may be considering those markets. She is going to talk a lot about Hometown Heroes and an amazing raffle that she's doing. You're not going to want to miss this show, but welcome, Miss Tony.
Thank you so much, Betsy. I'm very happy to be here today. And you don't know me yet either, so.
I'm excited just to get to know you. You know, William Daly, just to mention, Tony is a team lead for the locals group of Gulf Coast with William Daly as well. And, you know, William is, I'm a super fan of. Great guy. You know, he messaged me, you guys were doing this, and I do have so much loyalty and commitment just to our first responders and all those people. So if you're a first responder listening today, we have a super treat for you. Tony has a bunch of great things, so we'll dive deep into that in the show. And then I have one of my own in the house today, Josh Calloway. He's an LPT agent. For all you young entrepreneurs out there, anyone starting in the real estate game, he is the one to talk to. He is working the entire Tampa Bay area, and it is amazing just to see his perseverance and commitment to the real estate game thus far. What's going on, Josh?
How you doing, Bessie? It's going good. I'm excited to be here.
Happy to have you here. So glad that you're on our team. Jen and I just absolutely adore you, and we're just so glad we can support you in your real estate career.
I adore you guys. You guys are the best, to be honest. So.
Thank you so much. So we're going to dive deep right into loyalty. And what I always do is I kind of just, you know, throw something out in the very beginning. And I want to turn to you, Brandon, and just ask, if someone said to you, Brandon, define loyalty or being loyal, what would your response be?
Just making a commitment to stand by what you believe in and always back up the people that are beside you, behind you, and, just go to battle for them.
I love that definition. That's great. I think it's really cool. Someone on the Invest Tour, my guy Langston, always says, it's cool to show up on the weekend. Everybody wants to show up on the weekend, but like during the week when it's tough, that's like a whole different situation, So the definition of loyalty and actually the Webster's dictionary is the support of an allegiance. It signifies a person's devotion or sentiment of attachment to a particular object. Also, it mentions the word being faithful. So I love your definition of that, Brandon. Talk about why staying in title 20 years.
Oh, gosh. It's something that I kind of just fell into and actually, enjoyed it. It's something, you get to work with new people consistently. It's never the same, even though, people say title's title, but every file is different. And, you meet a lot of great people. Obviously, you and I have been in business for a long time, but you have also one of my closest friends. You're someone that I go to when I'm having those rough days and I'm like, why have I been in title for 20 years? And, you kind of talk me off a ledge. And, it's just something that keeps me going. It's obviously a great background to have. It's always going to be around. And it's just something that I enjoy, and I enjoy helping people as well.
And give a shout out to our boy Anthony Latham, who I'm sure is watching today, and then we'll of course also be listening. Again, if you guys miss any of our shows, you can go to our LPT All-Star Facebook page. We have reruns of all of our shows, and then of course I do go live as the show is being recorded, so check that out on my page. But shout out to Anthony Latham, developed National Title Solutions. Great story. I'll throw this out there, Brandon. Brandon was working at Radio Shack, 18 years old, doing some of that, and got into title and has been with Anthony ever since. Anthony has grown the company. He took out a HELOC loan on a property in Riverview and built a national title company off of that loan. So it kind of just feeds into the real estate game, what we do with real estate, and then develop this great company. Brandon has been with him the entire time he's been in the industry. So love those guys. We'll dive deep into a little bit more title stuff later. And then I want to turn to you, Tony. It seems like to me you really prided yourself. I don't know if prided is a word, but pride yourself on the factor that you work with Hometown Heroes and the VA community. And that's one of the reasons why you drove down here to do this today. So talk about your loyalty, honesty, and commitment to that niche and demographic in the real estate business.
Yes, thank you, Betsy. I got my start in real estate in Oklahoma in a town. There was an Army base there. And so I started there, and 95% of the people that I worked with were either military, past military, veterans of some kind. And so I just saw kind of what they went through and moving from place to place, trying to find a property. And so I really just kind of got my start with them. And as I moved and transitioned to Florida when my husband retired, I have continued that here. And so I was certified with Hometown Heroes, also with Homes for Heroes, where I donate back a portion of my commission to the Hometown Heroes because I believe in them and what they do for our communities every single day.
I love that. And you must stay tuned to our show to find out what Tony's going to be giving away to Hometown Heroes. And then I just love that. I think it's great to really stay niche focused. I talked on the last show of people being scared of VA loans. And really, in reality, we ask these people to serve our country and we want them to be able to have home ownership as well as also buy investment properties to feed their families on a passive income basis. So I love that. We'll dive deep later in the show. And Mr. Josh, we actually are doing a first-time homebuyer class. If you are interested in the class, you can contact Josh. It's going to be a free class on how you can get bonds and grants. We literally have someone coming to the table right now with $1,000, $1,009 on a closing. So Josh, why is it important to be loyal, especially as a newer agent, to all the first-time homebuyers?
I think it's important to be loyal to all the new hometown buyers because
they're new, right?
Yeah.
You're new, they're new.
Yeah, it's just building that relationship, just even I am new. Yeah, I have to. Yeah,
you're new, and like building the relationship with first-time homebuyers is like scary for them, so they want to like you, they want to trust you, they want to know you. And so even like you jumping, head first into the real estate game, I think it would be easy for you to connect with a first-time homebuyer because it's new for them too, right? And why do you think you're going to like working with first-time homebuyers?
Because, like you said, it's just a new start, and we both were new to it, so we're just gonna get along easy like that, and
Kind of go through the whole experience together.
exactly.
You can't make a mistake when you're new.
Exactly.
When you're new because you don't know any better. Like we
Yeah.
make mistakes all the time. The new guys are great. So I love this. It's going to be great. We're talking all things loyalty. Brandon Westner, if anyone wants to get a hold of you or National Title Solutions, how would they do that, sir?
Call 727-504-8424.
And Miss Tony Gamble, LPT agent, all about the Hometown Hero program. Anyone looking in that Naples all the way down to Sarasota area, if they want to get in contact with you, could you give everyone your cell phone number?
Absolutely. 941-303-0345.
And Mr. Josh, if anyone is a first-time homebuyer out there and wants to be invited to our free first homebuyer class coming up in May, could you give everyone your phone number?
813-260-0821.
And as always, happy to be here. Do not forget to download that iHeartRadio app. We just love all of our loyal listeners every single week. Again, today we're going to break these things down in segment 2, 3, and 4. Honesty, trust, and commitment in the business world today. Super hard to stay in the real estate game. Also super hard to trust the process of purchasing real estate when we know that the interest rates are high. But we are going to tell you how we give you excellent service, stay honest, committed, and loyal to all of our customers. We'll be with you after the break.
The best comp plans ever and stock and revenue share, but if we're not closing real estate transactions, all of that is worthless because ultimately everything starts with a real estate transaction, which starts with a consumer. And so we wanted to arm our agents with the absolute best technology and best marketing tools to do more real estate. And that's, again, I think a big differentiator. I think very few brokerages really sit down and say, how do we provide tools to make sure that our agents can be more productive, sell more real estate, win more listings, win at more listing appointments, help more buyers find that home, and we're very focused on that. And so while we have the best comp plans and the best ways for agents to generate wealth and earn, we also have the best tools, and more importantly, I would say have the best tools to help you be successful in real estate.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin with LPT Realty and the Sunshine State Investments team. Happy to be with you in the Sunshine State on this amazing weekend. Hope that you have your Sunday planned out and you're going to do some amazing things with your family and your friends and just, of course, enjoying the Sunshine State. If you are listening from afar and you are trying to pretend you are in the Sunshine State, we will enjoy the sunshine for you. However, you are going to be blessed to know I have some amazing agents on this team that could sell you a vacation home or an investment property here. As always, the show is powered by LPT Realty. Robert Palmer makes all of this possible. And for everyone that always watches us on live, shout out to my girl Ruth, who's always a big supporter. Had her in the show the other day. So we love everyone that watches us on live. Do not forget to visit the LPT All-Star Radio Facebook page, and you can see all of our past shows, YouTube links, and again, download that iHeartRadio app as well. So all things loyalty today, man. What a tough market. Like, we're in a recession. Everyone understands that. Staying true to your craft, staying true to the game, staying true to what you believe in. One thing I say on this show a lot is do not be a jack of all trades and a master of none. So everybody on this show is stayed loyal to the real estate game. Brandon Westner's here from National Title Solutions. Another shout out to our guy, Anthony Latham. They have been in the industry, Brandon himself, over 20 years through the ups and downs of '08, through the ups and downs of what we have going on now. So love to hear from him. Tony Gamble, Josh Calloway, two all-star LPT agents, just talking about loyalty, honesty, and trust and commitment to all their customers, and especially Miss Tony with the Hometown Heroes, as we'll dive deep into that. So we're going to kind of throw out honesty here. So I'm coming to you, Miss Tony. You already seem like a firecracker. I love your energy. You're super cute. If someone said to you, just define honesty, what would you say?
Okay, so a good definition of honesty, I think, is going to be doing what you do the same, like in public, in private, making it all the same, right?
Not being an imposter.
So exactly, not being an imposter. Whatever you do in private, you don't mind that people see because you are open and you're honest in all of your dealings.
You know, I love that definition. I never really would have thought of that, but it's like so true with what's happening on social media today. What you see on social media and what someone does in real life, 99% of the time isn't accurate.
Yes.
Like for me, it's accurate. I'm crazy in real life and I'm crazy on social media. So I'm just crazy all the time, right, Brandon?
Absolutely.
It's 100% real. Like what you see is what you get. But I couldn't agree with you more, and I love that. So how do you imply that in the real estate business as an agent, just being honest in that kind of capacity that you defined?
By doing what you say you're going to do too. And you have got to think of your clients, your customers as more than just your paycheck or like a ticket to your money. You have to be fair in all your dealings. And even when maybe getting out of a deal is not in your best interest, if it's in the best interest of your customer or client, that's what you need to do. So just remaining faithful to your client or customer in all your dealings.
I love that. And so honesty to you has been like really supporting these people, getting VA loans, you know, getting them special like grants and contributions in the Hometown Hero programs, because you see that they've been honest, obviously, to our country. And so you kind of want to give back to that. Talk about what you're giving away, man.
Okay, so I'm really pumped about this. Super
Me
stoked,
too.
right? Because we finally get to say thank you to all the first responders out there who a few months ago, we went through a hurricane, right? And so those guys, they were out there, they were doing things, they were rescuing people out of their homes and all those things. And they put their lives on the line every day. They don't always get a thank you, but this is an amazing thank you, I think. It is a ticket giveaway to first responders. I have 25 pairs of tickets to give away too, so that makes me excited as well. But to see Gwen Stefani in concert this month.
And if someone wants a pair of those tickets, could you give your cell phone number out, please?
Yes, absolutely. 941-303-0345.
And we're going to remind you of that throughout the show. So don't think that Miss Tony is going away, but what a great contribution. Huge shout out to William Daly and yourself for arranging this. I love that. I was fully supportive of, you know, having you guys and trying to promote that. Hopefully we'll get you some good content from today and you can share that on social media. We'll also make a post in the LPT All-Star Radio page for Miss Tony. We'll have her contact information in there. And if you are a first responder interested in Gwen Stefani tickets, do not forget to contact her. I'm going to turn to you, Mr. Josh. So honesty with your clients. How do you think that you're going to be honest with your clients, honest in a transaction, and maybe even honest with your fellow agents in the industry?
Honesty is just keeping it real. I like to keep it real with anybody I meet, anybody I'm around. So just keeping it real. And like she said, just not seeing them as a paycheck, just seeing them as a person and as a friend. And yeah, I think that's just the best way to get business rolling, is being honest with them. And
I love that. And you have such a quiet, humble personality. We just love you. Like sometimes in meetings, we're like, is Josh here? And you're just there taking your notes. And it's funny, we mentioned a couple of things on the break. You know, this show is all about building people up. Like that's my job as a host, is to bring you guys in here, build you up, support your businesses. And it's always funny when we have people come on the show. Like people don't do radio every single day. So I think being honest with yourself and being around people that have different strengths than you do is super critical in your business.
100%.
And big shout out to my partner, Jay Spinelli, who's always in the house. She comes in and records all these agents and really supports them. She does not get a paycheck to do that. And she's always there, super honest. She's a lot more honest and like transparent than I am in a very nice way. You know what I mean? So love her. Shout out to her. But Brandon, what do you got with the honesty situation in title? How many files have we seen closing real estate transactions that really in reality I've had to come to you when I was on the buy side and say, Brandon, take a look at this. This isn't right. This isn't honest. So speak about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of title companies out there that are going to charge some fees, and they're not very honest with, you know, who they're supporting. You know, as a title company, we got to ensure, you know, the buyer is getting a property that's free and clear. You also got to make sure that you're not doing anything unethical by charging, you know, a lot of cases your side, you know, they're charging outrageous fees that aren't supposed to be on there. And I think it's just to be honest up front and let everyone know up front in the transaction what exactly, you know, is going to be charged. And, you know, that's a big thing with us is we teach our agents. You know, it's so important for the agents to understand what should be charged on certain sides of the ALTA to where they're not getting taken advantage of from. There's a lot of bad title companies out there that do that. that try to make that extra buck.
I agree. And I think also people have to understand, this just happened to myself and Stacy Conti, which another little shout out today, had a closing today. She went live. We had purchased the property and we were the buyers, so we had to use a different title company. We now are the sellers. Brandon's closing the deal. What came up, Brandon?
Expired permit.
So the other title company did not run a proper municipal lien search. So again, if you are looking to buy, sell, or invest, it's so critical to partner with agents that have concrete relationships with their vendors. They can be a newer agent and have a great team lead and you're fully protected and walk through in the process. But one thing that you should ask if you're a buyer, seller, investor, hey, how long have you worked with that title company? How long have you worked with that lender? How many transactions have you closed with them? Because proof is in the pudding. Going back to you, Tony, actions speak louder than words, right? So when you're vetting out your vendors, how are you protecting your clients and being honest? Like, what's your rule of thumb?
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm going to use someone, a service, any type of a vendor, I want to have them come to me highly recommended through other people who have used them. I'm not just going to toss someone out there to someone that I don't know. And so I want it to be someone that if I haven't worked with them, someone else that I trust has worked with them and they're going to vouch for them.
100%. And I also think anyone looking to interview agents as well, Josh, if someone interviewed you, they could come to Jennifer and I, they could go to LPT, they could say, hey, what's this guy's credentials, who's supporting him. I think that's a great thing about LPT as well, just the amount of support that our brokerage gives everyone in every stage of their career. So just let me repeat that. It's not just the new agents. It's not just the seasoned agents. It's not just the team leads. They support us in every stage of our career and give us different levels of support. So some of the newer people, they need help identifying things in contracts. They need help giving them a better process or a way to do things. I jump on the phone with my new agents, buyers and sellers and investors consistently to support them in what they do. I also help them on the radio show, right, Josh?
Of course, yeah.
Right there. I got you, kid. So I just love that. Brandon, if anyone wants to speak with you in regards to title or any of the things that we've mentioned, which is awesome that it's word vomit to all the listeners, municipal lien searches, all this crazy stuff. That's why Brandon's there. Give him your phone number, man.
It's 727-504-8424.
If any first responders wants a pair of Gwen Stefani tickets, Tony, give everyone those digits.
Yes, 941-303-0345.
And all my first-time homebuyers out there, not only can you get Josh Calloway's magazine of ways to get a lower interest rate in today's market, but you can attend the first-time homebuyer class our team is putting on. Josh, how would they contact you?
813-260-0821.
All things loyalty today, friends, in life, business, and real estate. Talking about honesty, we're going to now dive deep into trust. Why should you trust someone? How far should the level of trust go in everything that you do, especially in the real estate game? You're going to catch us after this commercial break.
The biggest win, I think, with the dual path and having these two models is that now we become a brokerage for everyone. No matter where you are in your real estate career, what your goals are today, maybe today you're not interested in recruiting or having a team, but then one day you wake up and you are. Well, if you're at the wrong brokerage to do that, you're locked in. Where in our model, we're not holding anyone hostage. We're not tying anyone in. You can move between the different comp plans and have that success and really achieve whatever your definition of success is under one brokerage platform, being LPT.
Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinnervin. And as always, I am still with the most amazing brokerage in the country, LPT Realty, powered by LPT Robert Palmer executive team. Shout out to that executive team, Matt Hodge, Matt Levy, Lewis, Jessica Palmer. We love you in Tampa. We know you guys were in Orlando. So glad I got to see them this week. Robert Palmer dropped some serious gems on just restructuring your business in this tough market. And that was kind of a push for actually what our show is about today. Staying true to who you are, but true to the business, even in tough times. So the show is all about loyalty. As always, we are super raw and real on this show. And so we talked a little bit about loyalty, honesty, and now we're going to dive into trust. So Josh, I'm coming at you, man. I got to hit you with some got to have some talk time, kids. So if I said to you, Josh, what does trust mean to you? What would you say?
I define trust as just how far you can. I don't know.
Anything that comes to mind. If I said trust, what would you say?
Respect and just
Respect.
honesty. Yeah, respect and honesty. Just the words that we were using before. Just if I can't trust you, I mean, what we don't have a relationship, and you start off trust by just being honest and being real and being open and yeah.
You just killed that. Like you just killed that. You just did great. I love that. I love all of that. Respect. I love all of that. And I love that let me just repeat this part for you is you said if we don't have trust, we don't have a relationship. So sometimes when we're talking, we don't pull little words out. Joe Pinkert said on the show last week, don't be interesting, be interested. And I love that as well. Be interested in other people, not just interesting in exploiting yourself.
Exactly.
So I love we don't have a relationship. So Tony, that really sits well in real estate, right? Because they always say the people that know, like, and trust us are people in our sphere and people that want to do business with us. But in this industry, we have to go hustle outside of that. And we have to build relationships with people to get us to know, like, and trust them. Give gems to all the agents out there of how you build those relationships. How do you get clients to trust you? What are some things that people can do in any business to gain credibility with clients?
By being completely honest. When I go show a property, let's say, and we were talking about first-time home buyers also a while ago. And when I go see a property with someone, I'm not just going to go, oh, look, what a wonderful home, and try to convince them that it's a great home. It may be a great home, but what if it has some issues? If I see something, I'm going to point it out. If I see there's a foundation issue, I'm going to say, you know what, you might want to take a look at this. If there's an old roof, I'm going to tell them, I'm just going to enlighten them on things that they may not know so they can have all the information when they are making a decision. And I think when you do that, and you put their concerns and their considerations above your own, then they are going to trust you.
100%. I also think I kind of want to talk with you just team lead to team lead about trust coming from agents that are on our team. They have to trust that we have their best interest. They have to trust that obviously we want them to succeed. We may have to have uncomfortable conversations with them, but we do want them to trust us. So talk to leaders out there, business owners out there, team leads out there. Just what do you do to get your agents to trust the process?
Yes, I really think it's very important that you have that trust relationship with your team members as a leader, and that trust is something that is built too. You don't have it in a day, but by having their back, by jumping in when they need help and being there for them, being on the other end of that phone when they need it. I have an agent that called me this morning frantic because he's going out of the country for a week and he's got some things going on with his deals. I'm like, dude, I got you. Don't even worry about it. Give everybody my phone number. I'm going to handle it for you. It'll be done when you get back. And when you show that to your agents, then you build that trust that you are there for them no matter what, and you have their back.
And I agree. I think it was obviously said before, if you don't have trust, you don't have a relationship. And I think it also comes with tough conversations. So I'm going to come to you, B, is that, I think that when you build trust with people, part of being honest is saying things that people don't want to hear. So we talked in the beginning, everyone's there for the weekend, everyone's there for the good times, but how do you even, you can use even Stacey and I as an example, is how do you have the tough conversations with buyers and sellers throughout this process, and also just tough conversations with people in the industry?
Just by being honest with them. I mean, you've got to let all parties know in the transaction exactly what's going on, whether it's good or bad. You're protecting everyone. We're protecting the homeowner and we're protecting the buyer. So we've got to make sure that we're constantly in constant contact with them, letting them know everything that happens throughout the process, whether it's good or bad.
And I've gotten some of the bad calls. I've been the seller, and, Brandon has called and said, Betsy, we legitimately cannot close this file. And I think that just says so much about you and Anthony and National Title Solutions, that there is no favorites in this game, even people that bring you business. And why is that important in a real estate transaction?
Credibility. I mean, word of mouth. I mean, you guys have obviously built a relationship with us, and you guys have, 20, 30 people if not hundreds of people you've sent our way because we've built the trust and we're going to be honest with you. It's one of those things where, the company was 3 people in 2007 and now we're at 50 people. It's just because of all the trust that we've gained with all of our clients throughout the years, just being honest with them and helping them out.
I also think like fixing other people's mistakes, right? So we see a
Yes.
lot of times in this industry that people, take astray. They think grass is greener on the other side. But at the end of the day, trust really shows the people that are going to be there for all of the wins and all of the losses.
Yeah.
And I can remember times closing deals with Brandon where we have a double closing kind of going on and we're 50 grand short on the other side. And all the heads come together like, okay, how can we make this happen? How can we be fair to the buyers, the sellers, and then obviously get things done and not lose escrow? So I love you guys to death. I appreciate your contribution. Anybody out there that has not been tuned into the show, Miss Tony is giving away Gwen Stefani tickets to all the first responders. Tony, 25 Gwen Stefani tickets.
25 pair.
Oh, 25 pairs.
Yes,
I apologize.
Yes.
So really,
That's
50
50.
tickets,
Yeah, that's 50.
right? That's something to get excited about.
okay. It's like 50 Cent says, go shawty.
That's right.
It's your birthday.
Woo.
Yeah, and Tony knows 50 Cent.
I
That's
do.
right.
Yeah.
Tony
I'm
is
down.
my
Watch
jam
out.
now.
Watch out.
I love that. So 50 tickets, 25 pairs, first responders. How do they contact you, Miss Tony?
Call me 941-303-0345. I have the hookup for you first responders.
I love that. And so, in all reality, when you and William kind of came to light on how you were going to do this, I really think it shows just an exemplary amount of trust. Because just trust that we put in these people, that they save lives on a consistent basis. And just talk about that a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. They have thankless jobs sometimes. I mean, how many times are they thanked? How many times are they yelled at, screamed at when something doesn't go right? But how many times are they actually thanked and shown appreciation? And Will and I really, both of our hearts are there. William was a firefighter. And so that's where his heart is. And I come from a family of my firefighter and first responder as well. And so I just am privileged to be able to do this and show just a small amount of appreciation for the first responders out there.
Now, I hope that William is listening because I did not know that he was a firefighter.
Yes.
So what I'm going to have William do 110% is go live with a firefighter suit on because I want to
Yes.
see him in all that gear. Do you know that they actually do like training courses and all of that because it weighs so much that they make them put on all the gear and like run up and down the ladders and all those things? So I want to see, William, if you're still in shape, my friend, and I want you to put on all that gear and all those suits and run up that ladder and show. Actually, that's how we should give the tickets away.
Yes.
Is William Daly should be in a firefighter suit with all the gear on, all the tanks, all the
Yes.
stuff. You think he could still do it, Tony?
I think he can do it.
I got money on Will too, man.
Yes. You know what, Betsy, I want to say, speaking of honesty and trust and all these things, Will is my real estate ride or die, in case you don't know that. And so I just love him to death. He's amazing. I just want to shout out to him.
I love that. That's so great. If anyone wants to contact you, B. Wessner, NTS National Title Solutions, how can they contact you?
727-504-8424.
And one more time, Miss Tony, 50 tickets, 25 pairs, Gwen Stefani, to all the first responders out there. If you want to go to the concert, contact Miss Tony at
941-303-0345.
And Josh Calloway may be quiet, but he is mighty. And he is going to be fully involved in our first time homebuyer class where you can actually get bonds, grants. You can actually get credit back on your tax return to reduce your debt to income ratio. We have a client closing right now in Tampa Bay, bringing $1,009 to the table. That is it, friends, on their closing. Class is going to be in May. Josh, how can they get in contact with you?
Before I say my contact, I just want to say that I am also 23. So, I mean, all my first-time home buyers, 23, 24, 25. Please just let me know. I got you guys. We can relate. And my number is 813-260-0821.
You're just the cutest, Josh. We just love you. I
Love
that.
you guys, man.
I love that. So anyone out there wants to be on the show, a catalyst and connector in Tampa Bay, you can reach out to me at 813-609-0229. Don't forget to download that iHeartRadio app, and we will be back after the break. Welcome back to the LPT All-Star Radio Show. I am your host, Betsy Tinervin, with the LPT Realty Brokerage, 3,500 agents strong, fastest growing brokerage in the country. And not only are we the fastest growing brokerage, but we honestly have the best tools to help buyers, sellers, and investors make knowledgeable purchases in the real estate game in its entirety. Robert Palmer makes all of this possible, and I always bring you every weekend, friends, the raw and real of life, business, and of course, real estate. Today, talking all things loyalty. If you missed out on the first 3 segments, you definitely missed out. So apologize to yourself now. However, you can go back to the LPT All-Star Facebook page, click any of the YouTube links in the page, and contact us there. Watch any reruns, and you definitely should watch today's because I have 2 amazing agents on the show. Tony Gamble, team lead of the Locals Group in the Gulf Coast. She covers Naples to Sarasota. Great gem just to drop in Tampa Bay today for all my Naples, Sarasota, and everyone in between. Ms. Tony Gamble, and also Josh Calloway. He's a newer agent on our team, the Sunshine State Investments team. He is going to be running a big-time first-time homebuyer class with a majority of us, just really giving back to those first-time homebuyers, but he is an LPT agent as well. And B. Wessner with National Title Solutions, 20 years in the title game. 20. And he has no gray hairs because he's bald. So since you cannot see us and only hear us, don't worry about B. West. No more hair. However, he did have a super cute little baby boy recently. And I definitely want to give another shout out to his soon-to-be wife, Jenna, who I also adore, who puts up with all of our late night calls and all of those things. So shout out to Jenna as well. But we've been talking all things loyalty. We ran through honesty. We ran through trust. We're going to wrap the show up with commitment. Why are we committed to our industry? Why are we committed to other agents that we work with, even other brokerages that we collaborate with? Why are we committed to people that we work for? Like Brandon has been with NTS over 20 years. So I'm going to throw it to you, Miss Tony. Drop that commitment definition. Drop a gem.
Ooh, you know what? Commitment. I think just being steadfast in your loyalty to a company or to your craft.
I love that. Yeah. Steadfast. Tony's beating me out, man. She's coming up with these words. I think she's got Chat GPT on her phone open over there. I'm just kidding. Yeah, steadfast. I love that. And then really coming back to the loyalty, right? So why stay in the real estate game, Tony, right now? Not only just as an agent and a team lead, but also as a buyer, seller, investor. Why ride or die with real estate?
Yes, because real estate is where it's at. It's a very sound investment. I mean, you are not going to lose if you are investing in real estate. You might lose in the stock market. You might lose in other aspects, crypto, all that stuff, but you are not going to lose in real estate.
And also, I think it just shows proof that the people that stay true in what they invest in the hard times, you saw all that stuff happen when all of the fraud and stuff happened with Bitcoin, right? You saw everybody freak out with the whole Silicon Valley thing. But, no one can come and rip your house off the foundation. So if it's Bitcoin, Dogecoin, paper coin, whatever people got going on, no one's coming to rip out my apartment complexes and my home. They're not just going to rip it out, take it. They can't steal it. The other thing is, let's talk about our market, right? So our market's on fire.
Yes.
Before we were a seller's market, so I'm not just riding the wave. It's like somebody that is like, I'm a Bulls fan just when they win. No. We were appreciating faster than the national average prior to being a seller's market, which we've continued to do that. And supply and demand speaks for itself. You look at Orlando, 1,000 people moving here a day. You look at Tampa Bay, we don't have enough land to build on. So if you look at what's really being built, there's micro units being built, 450 square feet furnished in Tampa, because we don't have enough room. So there's no 3-bed, 1-bath. It's you get 450 square feet because we have so many people wanting to come here. Josh, why move to Tampa Bay, my man?
Tampa Bay is a beautiful place. There's so much things to do. You can go see a Bucks game. You can go see a Rays game. I don't know if you guys are into sports, but it's beautiful going outside. The weather, well, there's a lot of rain, but there's no snow. It's beautiful. There's so many homes. The people, it may be a lot, but yeah, it's beautiful.
I think we're a melting pot. Can you agree? Because I
Yes.
feel like culturally here, we're a melting pot.
Yeah.
It's like there's nobody's that's like, I'm from here. It's like you're from Atlanta, you're from Chicago, you're from New York, you're from Cali.
Yeah, you're from literally everywhere, out of the country too. It's everywhere's here. It's nice. It's a good mix.
I love it. Tampa Bay is amazing. Why buy real estate in Florida, Tony?
You know what? Florida is growing. The prices are going up, right? People are moving here because of the weather. They're retiring here. So I just feel like you cannot lose with investing in real estate in Florida.
Brandon, you see so many transactions. You work with so many agents. You work with so many buyers and sellers. Why do you think that so many people are investing in Tampa Bay?
I think what they said, obviously the weather, Florida's, we're free here, man. We don't have to worry about a lot of the other political stuff all over the country. It's, you come to Florida, you got the weather. We
didn't even know what a COVID test was in Florida, man.
You're not lying. You're not lying.
What was COVID? What happened with COVID? But
I remember that
100%. I mean, yeah, we were just in LA for a week, and there's still COVID tests on every corner, like a Walgreens in California. I wouldn't be able to deal with that. You come here, you got everything you need here. You got the weather, you got the beaches. I mean, you got amusement parks. I mean, there's no better place to be than Florida.
Also, how about no income tax?
Oh.
None of you gave a shout out to that, bro.
Yeah, true.
Like in Florida, it's crazy because when I first moved here, I still had some Illinois employment, and it was so awesome for me to tell the people in Illinois that were still paying me, nah, I'm a Florida resident. You can't charge me that. And so here you have to think like Tampa Bay has become this huge tech hub, right? I used to meet with the economic strategist all the time when I was a new agent just to figure out what was going on. And even back in 2016, they were not letting big companies bring their companies here if they paid a salary under $65,000 a year. And that was almost like 8 years ago now. So it's crazy to see just what we're bringing here. We're not only bringing employment and people, but we're bringing a quality of life. Absolutely. And Brandon, you've been here a long time. So talk about quality of life here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was born and raised here. I was born in Ocala, Florida, moved to the Clearwater area when I was in second grade, and I've been here ever since. I had a short stint in Georgia, but there's just no place like Florida. I mean, like you said, the appreciation of houses is next level compared to anywhere else. Jobs are great. I mean, what more could you ask for if you're trying to build a family and trying to live in a great place? Crime's not bad at all. It's the place to be.
I love that. Tony, what final thoughts do you have for our listeners today?
My final thoughts are move to Florida. I did 2 years ago, and I have not looked back. Seriously, get down here as soon as you possibly can. I changed my life to move here, and I absolutely adore it here. I will never, ever leave. So that's my final thought. That, and if you are a first responder, I want to give you tickets, right, to see Gwen Stefani on April 29th. So I need you to call me, 941-303-0345, and let me make that happen for you.
I just love that. Josh, what are your final thoughts for these listeners out there? Like, if there's a new entrepreneur listening, if there's somebody that just took a plunge and jumped into real estate, if there's a first-time homebuyer out there freaking out, they don't really know what to do, like, just give them some, like, words of wisdom and final thoughts of where you're at in your career and kind of even what your experience has been like today with me, man.
I just want to say that if you are just getting into real estate, you need to call me because I have the best team, honestly, behind me, and just the help that I have and the support that I have has just been great. And first-time home buyers, also give me a call because my team is behind you. We got you. Also, go Lakers, and shout out my mom and my dad and my sister.
I just love Josh. He's so cute, Tony.
He's adorable. I want to take him home.
Josh, can you tell everyone what you have a team shirt on right now? Our logo's on the back. LPT's logo's on the back. And what does the front say?
It says hard work pays off, which I mean, when I got the shirt, it was like, I want to wear it every day, honestly. It's just what I live by. And obviously it's what the team lives by too. So I'm very excited.
So it says HWPO, and we put LPT's logo on the back, and the front says hard work pays off. And we love giving that to our new agents because we want them to work hard and inspire them and empower them. B. Wester. Oh, wait, Josh, give out that phone number really quick for me.
My phone number is 813-260-0821. Also, go Lakers.
A Lakers fan. He's loyal, honest, and committed, man. Brandon, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. All the agents out there, make sure, all the words we've talked about today, trust, loyalty, make sure your title company has all those things. Make sure that you trust them to do the work so you can be a better agent by you going out, getting more business. Let us handle all that extra work so you can focus on building your team or building your portfolio to get more business.
I love that. And if anyone wants to get a hold of you, B. Wes, what are those digits?
It is 727-504-8424.
And again, shout out to Tony. She is going to be giving away 50 Gwen Stefani tickets. Tony, say that number slowly real quick.
941-303-0345.
Awesome show today, guys. So glad that I had you with me. Thank you all for being here. Also, if you're interested in that first-time homebuyer class, it is going to be May. We have limited seats. They will fill up fast. You will actually get your certificate in the class for the bond program that you need. My number is 813-609-0229. All of our religious listeners, we love you. We thank you. Check out our Facebook page, LPT All-Star Radio Show Facebook, and we will catch you next weekend.
Thanks for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast, powered by LPT Realty, Real Estate Reimagined. We hope this episode motivated and inspired you. And don't forget to rate and review us. Thanks again for listening to the Raw and Real of Real Estate podcast with Betsy Tinervin.